we talking about today?
We're talking about whatever.
Oh, it's whatever you guys want. Today's going to be literally a
You ask, we'll answer.
Yeah.
You ask, we'll answer kind of day. So, guys, jump in. What are your questions? What are your questions that you guys have?
And we'll try to pin them too, so you guys know who's asking what.
J4CK says, "Shout me out." What's up, J4CK? What's up, my man? Okay, so.
Rebecca's favorite day is seeing Muscle Ph.D. live.
Oh, Rebecca, thanks. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Rebecca's awesome. Rebecca's always like on Muscle Ph.D. You're freaking phenomenal, Rebecca. Rebecca Hudson, awesome. Okay, Carolina Sandoval says, "What do you think of carb cycling diets?" I think that's what it's called. Laugh out loud. Carolina Sandoval, it's a really good question. So there's evidence that basically when you train in a low carbohydrate state, a depleted state, you get adaptations in fat metabolism. And so basically there's studies from Hansen, Yao, all bunch of scientists that basically show like training in a depleted state increases, like I said, mitochondria and fat metabolism. So if you train in a carb depleted state, you'll get those adaptations. That's why I like carb cycling. So you can get a lot of the benefits of a low carbohydrate diet when you're carb cycling, but still have carbs. So I do think that's a good method. Best use of blood flow restriction protocol from Roger. I'll tell you what, well, first off, it depends, but the protocols I like to do, like we'll wrap, like we have the Katsu device, but if you don't, take knee wraps, you wrap around the upper arm. Actually, on the upper arm, I like the tourniquets that you use like when you're taking someone's blood. Yes. On the legs, I like the knee wraps. And when you wrap, Roger, you want to wrap at a pressure of about 6 to 7 out of 10 of your perceived pressure. Then when you're done, 4 sets, 1 set of 30 reps, rest for 30 seconds, a set of 15, rest 30 seconds, set of 15, rest 30 seconds, another set of 15. So 30, 15, 15, 15, and that's the best thing. Anthony Poons, Easy R561 says, "Why does low back injury take so long to heal?" I mean, because you're having to stabilize yourself all the time with your lower back. You can't, like, it's hard to rest your lower back. You stand, you're loading it, right? You do anything, you pick up a pair of dumbbells, you're loading it. Like, that's probably the reason why it's so hard, because you can't just let it rest. So this is Caleb, good name, man. When doing morning and evening resistance training, what? ... when doing morning resistance training workouts, do I take whey, creatine, BCAAs after, or both? BCAAs before, whey and creatine after. Stretching, best time for it, normally do 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. Mike, if you're doing a strength day, I wouldn't stretch before because your strength's going to be lower. If you're looking for like increases in like flexibility, do it after you train. If you're looking for muscle growth, do it between sets. Last week you mentioned you could do BFR for back. How do you wrap for it? You just wrap the top of your arms, and that will actually eat your nervous system to recruit more of your back. Should I take berberine every day or on cheat days? For sure on cheat days. If you're eating super clean, it's not like you might not necessarily need it, but any high carb meal, and definitely on cheat days. Do you cut out all aspartame and sucralose close to stage show? No. Actually, I don't see a problem with any of them. So, but what is DEXA's biggest flaw? DEXA is a great device. It's my favorite body composition device out there by far. I would say the biggest thing to understand is the flaw is typically human error. So that means, for example, when you typically have the person doing the measures, they don't standardize things. As long as you standardize for what they ate the day before or the last 3 days, time of day, you should be good. Sweat smelling like ammonia, normal when trying to fat adapt. Here's the thing. Sweat smelling like ammonia is a sign that you're breaking down protein at a very high rate, okay? When you're in the process of fat adapting, basically what could end up happening is because you haven't adapted, you're breaking down your protein, your muscle protein at a high rate. So that's why it smells like ammonia. I would say you need to up your fats. That'll spare the protein and get rid of the ammonia smell. How should you incorporate electrical stimulation? With light weight combined with the E-stim. So you're basically just moving the muscle along with the E-stim. Okay. Double weight sessions while in a calorie deficit? Question mark, question mark, question mark. That's Neil Kenfit. Yeah, I think that's a good method because you can maintain higher intensities by distributing the workouts. I work out 6 days per week and I eat clean, but don't get muscles. Well, Omid, man, I'll tell you what, 2 things. One, you're not a high responder to training, but I would say everyone can get gains. It's patience. You got to have patience, but you might need to change up your training split. Like change it up, do something extreme, and that will shock your muscles. Whatever exercise you've been doing, stop doing and do something else. What are your thoughts on CLA? I think it's great. Carnitine's okay. I would take regularly like 3 to 6 grams a day of CLA.
Perfect.
So acetyl L-carnitine versus L-carnitine. I don't know. I mean, I think I know. Yeah, I would go ahead.
Acetyl-L-carnitine tends to be more for neurological benefits, so increasing like focus and energy, versus like L-carnitine tartrate. The research is looking more at fat metabolism.
Okay, there you go. So it depends on your goal. Okay. Do you accept kinesiology students from Quebec? I'll tell you what, Samuel, I actually used to live in Canada. So we do accept internships. And so who do you need to email for internships?
Start off with me. I'll put my...
You could, yeah. And actually, they probably just contact Muscle Ph.D. website, right?
Yeah.
Go to the Muscle Ph.D. website. We have a contact. Fill that contact form out. We do recommend that once you contact, you shoot over your resume and your why. Like, here's the thing. When people come work in our lab, skill sets are very important. We are definitely looking for skill sets. By the way, if you're really good at graphics or something like that, really good at graphics, coming over Muscle Ph.D. or ASPI, we're definitely looking for interns like that. But besides the skill that you have, the number one thing we're looking for is hardcore work ethic and your why. Like, our why is to change people's lives. Like, we want to help people. We want to change people's lives. We want to change the game. We want to do something different. If that's your why and you have a passion for helping people, shoot over an internship, application. Go to Muscle Ph.D. or the ASPI.com and say, I want to intern with you guys, and we'll read your story, Is it possible to gain strength even though you're on a calorie deficit? Absolutely, 100%. BFR for form and calves, where do you wrap? At the top of the forms and the top of well, for the forms, you actually go up here, but I like personally wrapping right here. I feel like you get more cell swelling, and you can also go at the top of the calves. Is there an amino acid kickstart for the...
Leucine.
Okay, for leucine?
So basically, is there something that kickstarts mTOR?
Phosphatidic acid does. There's something else, but I can't talk about it right now. So phosphatidic acid definitely turns on mTOR. In between meals, energy does. Although that's not related to mTOR. mTOR is still on. So I'm going to say phosphatic acid. Also, HMB does. I think there's some evidence that HICA does. And that's it. Are waist trainers bro science? Kind of. Is vacuum training good? Yeah, vacuum training will help you get better at being on stage and holding the abdominal muscles, in that position, right? So yes, I do think that works. It's not going to necessarily make your waist smaller all the time. What will do is help you to draw in your abdominal wall, making your waist appear smaller on stage. If I do intermittent fasting for 16-8 window and usually train in a fasted state, if your body fat is around 8%, would you recommend to have leucine and protein powder, or is it okay to have dextrose and protein powder? Depends on, probably you could have both if you're that lean and you stay lean. rebounding after a bodybuilding show, thoughts in the process. Sam, I think coming out of a bodybuilding show, you should go low carb as possible and up your calories in a low carbohydrate state to try and get fat adapted. Because your body's preferentially putting on fat, put it in a state that's preferentially using fat as fuel. That's 100% my advice. Other advice that I could possibly have too is up your protein intake, start upping your calories by protein. Very hard to store protein. Anthony Poon, what's up, Anthony? Anthony's awesome. I mean, I freaking love Anthony, man. Here, fist pump, brother. Hey Doc, why are you always wearing polo shirts? I'm not wearing one today, dude. This is called business. Anyway, yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm be honest with you, and also like these guys will tell you that I'm a creature of habit. Yeah. So when I like a shirt, like I probably have 50 of these.
I was there when he got them.
Yeah, there's my shirt. That's my sweater. I probably have 3 of these ones. And I probably have like 25 polo shirts. I don't know why. I get obsessed with stuff. Good question. Work is in my blood. I like that. Yes. This guy should apply for an internship. Hey champ, what's up? Work is in my blood. Do you believe in fat burns before fasted cardio? Yeah, I think they work well with fasted cardio. So yeah, sure. Of course, not all fat burns are good, but yeah, I do think that helps. Soy lecithin is a source of phosphatic acid. Absolutely, Corey. How many grams of protein you recommend for someone? I mean, for osteoporosis. I mean, I would have like at least like a gram per pound. Is having casein before bed beneficial? Sure. Yeah, there's a study on that. Dandelion supplementation. What is dandelion? Well, dandelion. The main reason people use it is a natural diuretic, so you excrete fluid. So one of the main reasons people will use that is to, if they're getting ready to do a photo shoot and they want to look dry, boom. Yeah. You agree?
That's pretty much all I see it for.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, do you think, I have no idea. See, hello, wondering if muscle tissue damage by working out too much affects muscle growth and fat loss. Yes, because muscle tissue damage and decreases insulin sensitivity. So you'll be more prone to gaining fat when you have that muscle damage, so you want to go lower carb until the damage is gone. Good form exercise, please. My favorite is like farmer's walk, but it's brutal, right? So yeah, superset behind the back, like superset behind the back wrist curls with a barbell. So that you get do like 25 reps to failure, then rest pause to 40 reps, and then after that do farmer's walk, which means you carry heavy weight and just walk back and forth. Do that superset, your forms are gonna look sick.
Take a picture,
sick.
Post it to IG.
Yeah, take a picture, post it to IG. Let me know how that workout goes. Do training masks work, or is there latest gimmicks? I feel like I should call Will in here. I feel like I should call. Yeah, Will might go. If Will's hearing this, I'm gonna let him come in and answer this question on mass training. If he doesn't, I'll answer it in the next minute.
Will.
Okay. Stay tuned for William Wallace. Fall at William Wallace. Squat every day. Isn't that a song? Is that a song? No. No, okay. No, it's a different song. I was like thinking of like a song, a Dr. Dre song, but it's a
Come in here. Will's
come on in. All right.
You're gonna answer it.
You talk about
Okay.
training masks.
Just really quick. This is what William Wallace. Okay.
Make sure you're on both.
Follow William Wallace. You also, guys, you got to follow go to Instagram, the ASPI. Will's a big part of that. But Will's like one of the smartest human beings in the world. So
questioning is training masks.
Oof.
Yeah.
What about them?
Yeah.
Do they work?
Yeah, do they work?
Fad.
Okay. Yeah. Fad.
Okay.
All right, that's all we need you for. Okay.
Elaborate.
Okay. Well, with using a training mask, you're not really going to get the physiological benefits of altitude training.
Yeah.
It actually takes days to elicit those benefits. So you would literally have to live with the mask on. So what the mask is actually going to do, it's actually going to improve respiratory muscle strength. The only time you would ever really need that is, I think, if you were a cyclist. and you had a bout where you had to cycle uphill, and you had to actually use your inspiratory muscles at a high intensity, like 80 to 85% intensity, respiratory intensity, for a prolonged period of time. So, fad.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, brother. Will Fall at the ASPI. William Wallace, check him out on Instagram. He's the man.
Shout out.
Coconut oil benefits. Coconut oil is basically, it's a fat that has high level amounts of medium chain triglycerides, and medium chain triglycerides don't get burned like normal fat. They get burned really fast, almost like carbohydrates, so they give you quick energy. So they're very beneficial, particularly in a low carb state, but there's a lot of other health benefits in too. Health, longevity, all that other stuff. Yeah. Do we really need BCAs? Yeah, you do.
Short All right. Yeah. Good
okay. I'm going to get hate on that one. Hey, doctor. Used to be a member on abcbodybuilding.com. What's up, man? This is a long time fan. I started abcbodybuilding.com in high school. That was my first site, guys, abcbodybuilding.com. I did it with my brother's also Dr. Gabriel Wilson. So used to be a member of abcbodybuilding.com. Fist pump. Fat is, what is it? Fat Simone. Fat Simone's freaking awesome right there. Love your content. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate you. What's your take on steady state cardio post lifting? I used to read your articles saying not do it immediately after. Well, okay. Here's the thing. If I train my legs today and then I do steady state cardio, it will erase the effects I was going to get from the lift. Okay. But there's a benefit to high intensity followed by low intensity. If you had to do it, because a lot of people come to me and go, my prep coach is making me do steady state cardio. Okay, well, if they're making you do it, you might as well optimize it, right? And so if you do a high intensity burst, which is resistance training, the adrenaline increases fat metabolism. But I wouldn't really do it after the weight training. I do like a sprint and then I do the slow steady state cardio after. If you have to do steady state cardio when you lift, do it after upper body. And if you're doing the elliptical, don't do this because it's going to interfere with what you're doing. Boom.
Do that again.
Spot on.
Okay. I had back surgery and can't squat heavy. Sorry, dude. I tore my quad too. I know you feel. What's a good alternative lift for hitting the glutes? Well, I mean, I would do like cable kickbacks is a good alternative. Reverse. I don't know the prognosis on like how bad your back is, so I do more isolation movements like standing cable kickbacks, things of that nature. Seated adductor machine,
Yeah, especially.
banded side lateral movements, for sure. What's the cause behind fatigue during exercise? Vanucaldrin. Did I get that right?
I think so, yeah.
Vanucaldrin. You just opened up a can of worms, my friend, but I'm going to go ahead and just say this. There's peripheral fatigue, to use a word that Will would use, and then there's central fatigue. Peripheral is like out here, what's happening in the muscles. Things that can cause fatigue out there could be decrease in energy stores in the muscle, an increase in metabolites, like for example that lactate buildup that you get, the high acidity, that's peripheral out here. Centrally means that your nervous system gets tired, so it can't fire as well. Your brain gets tired, so it can't fire as well. So there's central fatigue and there's peripheral fatigue. And there's a lot more in that, but I'm hoping that helps. Can you explain how to incorporate heavy and lightweight days? Yeah, absolutely. There's two different ways that you can do that. The two different ways that you can do that, that's Mr. Lee 94. There's two different ways you can do it. Basically, you can periodize. So what I recommend, say you're doing training a body part twice a week, you have basically one light day and one heavy day. Your light day is probably going to be anywhere from 8 to 15 or 10 to 15 reps. Your heavier day is probably going to be anywhere from 6 to 8 reps. So what you want to do is that you want to auto-regulate with your mind. Say Monday, Friday, you're going to train your chest, and Monday you come in and you don't feel so good, do your light day. Friday, if you feel great, do your heavy day. If you come in Monday and you feel great, do your heavy day Monday. Friday, do your light day. I hope that helps. Does that sound good?
It sounds good. All right, you know what time it is? Rapid fire.
Oh, it's rapid fire time. This means, guys, I'm not going to think. I'm not going to read the question. I'm just going to literally give my first response.
Quick
it's going to be
answer.
immediate. So,
Andy, go ahead. Protein powder versus whole food.
Both.
Doc, what's the limit to growth?
Nice. We don't know the limit to growth. Certainly there's a limit. I just don't know we found it. What are your thoughts on DUP hypertrophy? I think it's the way to go. What's your
Nitric
question?
oxide supplementation.
You can't supplement with nitric oxide, but you can supplement with nitric oxide boosters like citrulline.
Is that a question? Here.
If protein is high in body as in positive nitrogenous amino acid balance, you could still take more protein. Can you gain as fast as if you were on a surplus? Oh, you mean when you're a calorie deficit? No, you have to be in a surplus to optimize growth, but you can still gain. Best time to take BCAAs pre-workout, in between meals. Opinion on glutamine, I think you should take it. If nothing else, for the immune system benefits, and if you're low carb, for the glycogen replenishment. How many labs do you have? How many labs are here? A lot, right?
1, 2,
6?
11.
11?
Cool.
We have 11 labs. How can I maintain muscle during 30-day fasting Ramadan? You'll maintain it. There's lots of studies showing that. Just make sure you train, try and train either right at the end of the fasting period or during the fed period. You'll be just fine, Nabil. Okay. Running to gym and 2 hours workout. When should I take aminos? Right before you run, brother. How important is cardiovascular fitness and hypertrophy? I think it's very important, Anthony. No, I can't do this. Is it possible to lose size while in a caloric surplus? Absolutely, yeah. You're
Insulin resistance?
You're going to lose size in the muscle. Someone's going to quote me on that, okay? You can lose size in muscle, because if you're in a caloric surplus but you stop training hard, you're going to lose muscle anyway, right? So it's hard to lose size because, eating's anabolic. But what's your opinion on occlusion training? Daniel, I like the term blood flow restriction training because you don't want to fully occlude the muscle, but I think it's a great technique. Is there any research on this? Gaining muscle in a calorie deficit. There's lots of research on it, and you absolutely can do it. So it's Sophia.
Oh.
Sophia, nice name. 10 pounds of muscle in 6 months, good progress? Yeah, it's great progress. What's your take on cardio post-training for fat loss? I mean, I think it can work. Okay. What's that? 20 grams of whey protein with HMB Will's Facet. I love it. Favorite foods when cutting? Hot foods that are bulky, like salads, volume. Go for volume. Okay, next question. We did that one.
Specifically?
Cardio post-weight training. If it's not leg day, it's good for fat loss.
Especially HIIT.
Especially HIIT. What's the next question? I can't say that. Just joined. Welcome. Please visit on Toronto one day. Absolutely. Let's see. Yohimbane HCl is a good fat burner? Yes. Does high protein intake provoke gluconeogenesis? Yes. Okay. I want to lean out. Should I keep lifting heavy? You should lift heavy as well as high rep, as well as super high rep. Okay.